we did have that colder start to our morning today, but we have a pretty drastic pattern change coming up, and we're already going to feel the effects of it as we move into this afternoon. So here's a look at what the upper air is looking like right now. We still have that big dip of much colder air sitting over us. However, we're right on the edge of it, and as we move throughout the afternoon, it's going to get out of here pretty fast. We have a ridge of much warmer air pulling in, and it's going to really push that colder air out of the way, already feeling those milder conditions as we go throughout the afternoon today. Now going into Thursday and really much of the end of the week going into the weekend as well, that ridge of warm air is just stationing on top of us. Here we are Saturday, even going into Sunday as well. Much of the country is going to feel much warmer, especially the eastern half of the country after we had this little bit of a cold stretch. And then those warm conditions will go into the beginning of next week as well. However, we'll get a little bit more fall-like as we move throughout next week. Here's a look at those high temperatures today. Again, it's going to be that coldest morning that we've seen, but we're even warmer than we saw yesterday. 61 for that high in La Crosse, 60 for the high in Eau Claire. Much of the area, though, really holding on to the upper 50s, but there could be those warmer spots where we actually see the 60s again. Going into tonight, still going to be a little bit chilly, however, a lot warmer than we saw last night. 39 for the low in La Crosse, 36 in Eau Claire. Tomorrow it's going to be even warmer, getting above average actually for once, seeing the mid to upper 60s again across the area. Now tomorrow we're also looking at some elevated fire weather concerns, and that's due to a couple of things. One thing, it's really dry out there. You're going to want to be putting on your hand lotion and your chapstick tomorrow because it's going to be dry. Look at those relative humidities. 22 in La Crosse. We're seeing the low 20s across much of the area west of the Mississippi. A little bit more moisture as we go further east. However, still dry out there nonetheless. We also have some fairly prevalent drought conditions. Now, much of our area is just in that abnormally dry stage, but if we look down into northeastern Iowa and back into Minnesota as well, that's where some of those stronger drought conditions are currently happening. So that topsoil and a lot of the vegetation out there is pretty dry. It's going to make it pretty easy to burn if stuff like that does come up. That last thing, it's going to be windy. Here's our wind gusts. Going into the afternoon, we're seeing wind gusts above 30 miles an hour again west of the Mississippi. A little bit lighter over as we get into Wisconsin, but still seeing gusts above 25 miles an hour. Those are going to die down a little bit as we go into the evening, but they're going to continue as we go into Friday as well. So all of this together really adds up to some decent fire weather concerns. Here we are on our fire weather danger index. We're sitting at 4 in La Crosse. A lot of the stronger risk is going to be staying off to our west because it's just frankly more dry over there, and it's going to get a little bit more windy as well, but we're still seeing some risk for us tomorrow. As we go into Friday as well, that risk is still going to be there. Definitely be something to be aware of. If you have any burns planned, please be responsible with it and diligent, as it doesn't take a lot for these fires to really spread once we get these conditions. And then going into the weekend, again, warmer temperatures, maybe even seeing 76 on Sunday. Don't really have any shower chances in the forecast. Tuesday's really our best bet, but that's really not looking as strong as it was in the past. So these drought conditions might stick around a little bit longer.
All right, that is a hard turn from coldest in the country to 76.
It's a roller coaster. We keep seeing it, but it's a roller coaster.
It's big.
Yep.
Thank you, Nicole.